Hi everybody, in today's tutorial I'm going to show you on how you can cut and sew this elastic waistband pant. First thing what I did was to go ahead and fold my fabric into two, then I draw a start point which is going to be the waistline. Then now I'm going to minus whatever I'm going to be using for my elastic waistband. For example, if your elastic is 2 inch, you have to minus that 2 inch from there. So my measurement is going to start from that 2 inch downward. I will simply measure from the waist to the hip depth, from the waist to the crotch depth. How to get a crotch depth is by dividing round hip by 4. Whatever you have, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 inch to it because this pant you can see is not a fitting pant. Then I'll mark my hem line. From there, I'll just come to this edge. I'll be marking 3 inch inward, okay? Then I'll start putting my measurement from that 3 inch inward. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead, take round hip divided by 4, which mine is 38. 38 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5. I'll go ahead and mark that up, but I'll be adding up my allowance. You can even add up to 2 inch depending on how free you want it to be on you. All right. Now, after doing so, I'm going to go ahead and connect these points up with a straight line. The next thing I'm going to do is to come here. I'll be putting my crotch extension, which is by dividing 1/4 of the hip. Whatever you have, you're going to go ahead and mark that up there. After marking it, the next thing I will do is to go ahead and add up the sewing allowance, which is 1/2 inch. Then from this point, I'm going to go in, place it from that sharp edge, connect 1 inch outward, like you can see. Then I'm going to get my French curve. I'll be connecting it up there, but you need to connect it with a nice curve, making sure it is not too curvy. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go. I'll be needing to stitch up this span as well. All right, I'm going to add 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, in 1/2 inch. Connect that up all the way to the crotch extension. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead. I'm going to come here. I will come in by 3/4 inch. You can go in by 1/2 inch, by 1 inch, or by 3/4 inch. That's just all we are doing here because this is elastic waistband pant. What I will do right here is to come down by 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to connect it all the way to the side seam. Then now I'll measure up whatever I have here and I'm going to go ahead and mark it to the hemline. I'll be marking it all the way to the hemline. Then when I'm done marking that up, I'm going to go ahead. I'll be cutting it up. Before I go ahead to cut it up, if you want it to be a little bit fitted, you're going to come from your crotch depth line, go down by 3 inch. Then you're just going to take whatever you have on your crotch extension all the way to the side seam. You can minus 1 inch, or here you use your lap measurement. All right. Use lap measurement divided by 2. Whatever you have, you're just going to go ahead and mark that up all the way straight downward. I hope this part is clear. Next thing I'm going to do now is to come down by 7 inch, go in by 2.5 inch. That's because I'll be adding up my pocket to it. Go ahead and fold again your fabric. Make sure whatever you have folded should be more than your front piece. Then here you're going to go up by 1.5 inch. That's for small size. If you're somebody that is that booty, you go ahead and mark 2 inch. Or if you're using smaller size, you go ahead and mark 1 inch. So I'm going to extend my crash here by 2 inch. At this point, I will come here, I'll extend it up by 1.5 inch. Half inch is going to be my sewing allowance. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect it all the way straight downward, like you can see. Okay. Then now, this point, you can just go ahead and do it like we did for the front. Okay, just mark 1 inch from the corner, then you connect it up. When you're connecting this part, make sure that it is not too curvy, because when it's too curvy, it's going to look funny when you are done stitching that up. And then from the lap line, I'm going to go out by 1.5 inch all the way straight downward. Once I'm done doing so, I'll go ahead now, I will connect it up, then I'm going to go ahead and cut that up. When I'm done cutting it up, now I'm going to come back to the front. Remember, you go in by 1/2 inch where we did mark that 7 inch. Okay, you go in by 1/2 inch. Then I'm just going to go ahead and connect those points up. We'll be cutting this part up, but make sure not to throw this piece that you're cutting it here, because we'll be using it later on. Okay, I'll go ahead now. I will cut the pocket. Okay, that is going to be going at the inside. All right, so I've just went ahead and cut whatever I have here is about 15 inch by 9 inch, 15 inch by 9 inch. So this is the piece that we cut. We're just going to go ahead and place that on it like that, and we are going to cut that part up. Okay, once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go ahead, I'll be pinning it up. I'm going to pin up the inseam of. After pinning, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, and then we're going to take it to the machine. We'll be stitching that by 1/2 inch. When I'm done stitching that up, I'm going to remove up my pin. This is the right time for you to go ahead and zigzag it, or you overlock it. So I'm taking up my pocket and pinning right side, facing the right side of my pants. Look at what is being done here. Then I'll go ahead now, I'll be stitching that up. Now, after stitching it, you're going to go ahead and top stitch. I did not show you this part, but you have to top stitch the pocket. Okay, now I'll simply measure that 2.5 inch that we did cut before. That's what I'm going to measure up. Then I'll be pinning up my pants, pinning up the pocket to my pants. Then I'll close the the bottom of the pocket. If not, it's going to be open. Once I'm done stitching, I'll go ahead now and place the back piece right side facing right side, and I'm going to go ahead and pin all the way straight downward. After pinning that up, I'm going to take it to the machine, and I'll be stitching that up by 1/2 inch. And also, I'm going to go ahead and pin the inseams as well, so that I'll just take it to the machine. I'm going to stitch it at once. When I'm done stitching, I'm going to go ahead and remove up my pin. If you want to press yours, you can go ahead and press that up. All right, now I'm just going to go ahead and pin up my pockets, flip it to the right side so you people should see how it look like. You can see the pocket, right? The two pockets are there. Now the next thing we want to do now is to go ahead and measure up the waist of the pan to be able to cut up the band that is going to go here. I've already cut my band, which is 5.5 inch. Okay, 5.5 inch. Then how long it is the round waist. Okay, the round waist of that pan. Then after that, I'm just going to go ahead, pin it up here. I'll be joining that up. Now, before I go ahead and join it up, I'll cut up my elastic. To cut up the elastic is you take round waist, whatever you have, you're going to minus 2 inch from there, depending on how stretchy your elastic is. You can even minus up to 3 inch, like I said, depending on how stretchy your elastic is. Go ahead, just pin up your elastic, join it up. When you want to join the elastic, you have to join it up with a zigzag stitch. A zigzag stitch. Now I'm going to go ahead. I'll be notching the 4 angles of this pan, and I also mark the 4 angles of the elastic. So that I'll be pinning up mark to mark or notches to notches, because the waistband is much more bigger than the elastic. Okay, I'm going to put it inside like this. I'm going to place and pin that up to hold it up. I'll do the same thing, pin notches to notches or mark to mark. After pinning that up, you can see that the band is much bigger than the elastic. So now when we are stitching it up, we have to pull that elastic so that it should fit to the pan. I mean, pull it up. You can see that I'm pulling it both the right and the left hand side. Okay, pull it up so that the elastic should fit to it. I'm done stitching. I'm going to go ahead and run 2 or 3 stitches on the band. This part is optional. If you want, you can just leave your elastic waistband like this, but I'll also go ahead to run that 2 or 3 stitches on it. When I'm done stitching, I'm gonna take it. I'll be pinning up notches to notches. Okay, I'm pinning right side of the elastic facing the right side of the pan, even though the band is both right side. Okay, you can choose one of them, pin it facing the right side of your pan. After pinning that up, I will take it to the machine and I'm going to stitch. And remember, you have to pull the elastic waistband so that it should fit to the pan like we did before when we are stitching the elastic with the band. Okay, make sure you pull, arrange it up, pull. And if in case you want to stop, make sure that your needle is down before you stop. All right, you see the way I'm pulling it. Both my left and my right hand side are pulling that up so that the elastic should fit to the band. When I'm done stitching the band to the pant, I will go ahead now and zigzag that part, then hem the pants, and this tutorial will be done. So I hope you find it helpful. Don't forget to like, share and comment. Anita Handmade Creations.